Admiral's log. March 1913 marks a turning point for our Navy. We're moving in a new direction with the production of 30 coastal submarines. It's a big shift in strategy, and it's set us on a course that's got some folks questioning my decisions. But I'm convinced this is the right move. These subs are going to give us an edge we haven't had before. They're perfect for defending our coasts and can strike where the enemy isn't expecting. It's about being smart and using what we have in the best way possible. These submarines can sneak up, hit hard, and then disappear before anyone knows what happened. I know this is a change from how we've done things before. Change always gets a bit of pushback. Some of my staff have been hesitant, not seeing the full picture yet. But I'm working on getting everyone on board. We're training our crews specifically for these subs, focusing on tactics that play to their strengths. This move is about looking ahead, preparing for the future. We're not just building submarines. We're building a new kind of naval force. These subs are going to be a key part of our defense and offense. We need to be flexible, ready to adapt to new ways of warfare. So despite the doubters, we're pressing ahead. This is about strengthening our Navy in ways we haven't tried before. It's a challenge, sure, but I have faith in our sailors and our plans. We're going to show what these subs can do and how they can change the game for us.
Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome to episode 17. I am happy to report the war with Germany is over, and this is at an excellent time because they were about to take some territory. Now, they did give me a decent amount of victory points, and with that, I can claim one, well, yeah, with the amount of budget I got, I can claim one of the areas that they have up for sale. Well, maybe not sale, but, you know, they want to get rid of it. So I'm going to take the Northern Marianas off of them. It doesn't mean I don't get a whole lot of money, which is a bit of a concern because I'm going to be broke in 5 months. But hey, we also have Austria-Hungary, who I have been pestering a bit. And I am potentially going to be able to get a victory from them, although I first have to complete that particular invasion. The Japanese, well, the Japanese, they keep sending out battleships. It's a bit annoying because it seems like the Japanese just snap their fingers and boom, they got a whole new battleship. They also snap their fingers and they double their economy. I need to learn how to snap my fingers and double my economy. Make my ships magically appear out of thin air as opposed to waiting about 15 to 20 months, if only. Now, the Yakov and Chesma have been engaged in conflict before. They did a pretty sizable battle. And this means that the ships aren't exactly in full fighting condition. Fortunately, they are getting support from the heavy cruiser the Derp and the Africa. These guys are packing those big 9-inchers. They're kind of HE spammers, designed to deal with the big Japanese dreadnoughts, but, well, these are not that. These are not the new Japanese superweapons. They do have sizable guns, yes, but they're not the big threat that I thought they would be. Nevertheless, these 13-inchers will hit. Fortunately, they don't have a whole lot of secondary, so that might make it possible for light cruiser Kuban to get in there and pester them with a couple of torpedoes. That is not something that my heavy cruisers can do. So my heavy cruisers are going to do what they do best, which is just lob a lot of high explosive at the enemy. At this range, like 12 clicks, I very much doubt I'll be able to hit them. And if I hit them, I can't pen that deck with armor, piercing shells. So we're going to go with high explosivo. We're picking 2 different targets now? Yeah. We're engaging both the battleships at the same time. That's interesting. I'm very concerned about the longevity of the Chesma, so I might have to pull her out of the conflict early. Depending on how well the fight's going to go for her, because it is a ship that I need to keep alive, seeing as it is only one of my 2 battleships. Destroyer Izislav is going to fall back. Kuban is full health, barring 1%, so she's ready for a fight. We're going to have to try and eliminate one of these ships quickly, focus all our efforts on that, and then make our way to the second target. If I cannot quickly eliminate one, I can maul it, so damage it so that it gets damage and stability, can't accurately shoot, potentially listing over, and at that point, the ship is basically no longer a threat. Oh boy. These guns are gonna cut. Yeah, look at that. They're gonna cut clean through the bow, the stern, the deck, the superstructure. Very, very sizable threat. There we go. Flooding on one of the Japanese battleships. Excellent work. Couple of partial pans. This thing is flooding quickly, though. Did you forget to bring your bulkheads this morning? Because that's what's going on. Because the ship's not really going to flood this quickly unless you got standard bulkheads. I only hit it a few times. I didn't cause that much flooding. Oh, there's another shot flooding. I'm really hoping that I can win the fight against the Japanese with such a victory score that they're going to be forced to give up a province. Alternatively, I'll get a whole lot of money from them, but I think I'd rather have provinces. Simply because at this point, I need provinces to get income. And my income at the moment, or maybe it's rather not the income, it's the expenses. They're a big problem. There's Mutsu. Trained crew, 7% chance to hit. The bow, no, starboard gun can't fire. And maximum bulkheads? Really? Standard crew quarters, so it's not like they're losing damage control. That was weird. How did you take that much damage from like one flooding? Ship is getting a lot of raking fire from the heavy cruisers. Sadly, they've done about 320 damage combined. So, like, they're not that dangerous. 22.8. A bit faster. Or normally they would be. I think Mutsu might be getting sacrificed here. Which is perfectly fine for me. That is another expensive ship. It is another, well, quite significant amount of power projection that they have. And the less they have, the better it is for me. I still won't be able to complete an invasion, especially since the Petrov-class battleships / invasion ships aren't ready. Or, well, for a long time. Because I keep postponing them. But hey, I guess we're just going to have to clean up the other sides of battleships. Damage, 1.1 there. The Sviatoy has hit nothing? What the hell? Out of 400 shots, you've hit nothing? How? That is really bad. Yakov is one of our legendary ships. Why is it performing so poorly? That makes very little sense. Not that we're getting a ton of debuffs from the weather. Weird. This is a veteran crew with pretty decent chance to hit. Go HE on everything. Just... they've just not landed as... oh, good lord. What the fuck? You're down to 1% structural integrity. Good lord, dude. I think it might be time to scrap the Chesma before the Japanese do it. Oh god, that was a big, big, big hit. That was 6k, wasn't it? Yeah. Oh no. Buoyancy holding at about 12. Kuban taking a big hit. Potentially in place the Chesma. Chesma's dead in the water. Completely dead in the water. She can't go anywhere. Alright, Yakov, I need you to start stepping up and eliminate this ship. Because at this rate, we're going to lose the Chesma, and I cannot have that. Thankfully, they're heading away from the damaged Chesma. But, damn. Suddenly, the Mutsu is giving a lot of resistance. Guys, I need you to not cling to each other. Thank you kindly. Blocked, 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 blocked. We're setting some fires, we're killing the crew, but it's not going fast enough. I need like one good flooding hit midships or bow, and she's gone. Sviatoy has a whole 1% accuracy. which is still less than half of the Japanese. Alright, let me just take these guys down. In the end, I decided not to chase down the surviving Japanese battleship. I did get the victory points, 9,000. And, well, the Chesma is extremely badly damaged. I'm interested in seeing how long it's going to take to fix her. Because, good lord, surviving on 1% hit points means that the Japanese didn't get victory points. But repairing Chesma, it's going to take, I think, 6 to 8 months. It's going to get really expensive. How is she doing? Where are the battleships? Here. She's at sea. She's not even getting repaired. Yeah, she's part of the naval invasion that's going absolutely nowhere. Oh, they increased the amount of needed tonnage. Well, that's nice. Okay. Let's get the Chesma home. We also got the Volya over there, which is another Offsetro class. Again, like an old ship. They finally have arrived. We're going to just cancel this whole naval invasion. I don't think it's going to work out. And at this rate, I'm a little scared about what the Japanese can do to my ships. Hold on, these guys aren't too badly damaged. We're going to just keep you guys out here. Patrolling the Sea of Japan, power projecting, and potentially sinking some more of the Japanese transports. Economy-wise, the thing is going very, very poorly. We have 346 million left. We're spending about 60 million. So, unless Canada decides to go shopping again, I am going to be in a little trouble. Now, this is what I got from the Germans, the North Marianas, which is, well, it's a tiny economy. It's 211 million. It's really not going to move the needle that much, but it is a forward operating base, if you will, in the Philippine Sea / towards North Oceania, where the Germans still have a couple more territories. It's just something that, at the moment, I don't really think it's going to be that interesting. Are these things, like, even valuable? Meh. This is more interesting. German New Guinea. But then again, I just made peace with the Germans, so I should not be looking at them. I should be looking at either the Italians, where I have absolutely no naval capacity, or the Austro-Hungarians. Yeah, we're making progress here, but not fast enough. How many soldiers they got left? Plenty. Okay. We're just going to have to keep pestering the Austro-Hungarians, get more victory points, and try and just consolidate the position in the Black Sea, making it very difficult for these guys to get out there. Who the fuck are you? I got Chinese cruisers? What? Why are there Chinese cruisers in my port? I didn't even know you could do that. We are going to send the heavy cruisers back out, because I do want to have power projection here and prevent any attacks on my navy. So I'm going to say, protect. Protect, protect, protect. Keep the merchant shipping alive, because it's getting really bad. Alright. Survive at all costs. Seeing the Japanese threats, and especially the ones that have those 13.5-inch guns, I think it's time to overhaul some of the Europa classes, or at least some of the Europa ships. This one is the Mark III version, so it's the Tier 3 refit, if you will. She's armed with those 11-inch guns, which at the time were designed to take out cruisers, and they did so fairly effectively. The problem is, we're no longer just dealing with cruisers, and the cruisers can be perfectly handled by these 8-inch Mark IIs. So I think it's time, especially since I have some displacement left, to remove the 11-inch guns and go bigger. This should be here. We're going to go and get 13-inch guns. These are Mark III. The reload is definitely a change. We're looking at 52 seconds to 65. And, well, we might be able to change this a bit with some better crew, but it's not going to be spectacular. It's not going to be a fantastic rate of fire, so I'll just have to try and make those shots count. Let's put the turret up there. Unfortunately, I don't really have a way to increase the reload speed, because my tech is very heavily outdated. When it comes to the pen on these guns, let's say 10 kilometer range, I can pen 40 inches of armor. That is substantial. And I think that's the maximum I can get. Cap ballistic 1. The HEs, they're soft capped. So if this thing were to hit a cruiser at, I don't know, 7.5 kilometer range to 5,000 meter range, you're going to just disappear. Because I'll be able to pen the armor with a high explosive shell and deliver incredible amounts of damage to that particular target. The secondary guns, these 8-inchers, I'm keeping all of those. Unfortunately, it does take 5 months to refit this, which I think is a bit long. I'm not sure why it is that long exactly. Refit time, 4 months. That's probably going from the Mark II to the Mark III. But normally you can do this a little faster. Spending 5 months without one or more of the Europas is not something I really want to do. Especially considering that battleship Chesma sank. I didn't show it on screen, but she was eliminated, sadly. The Japanese landed like 1 or 2 good hits and... Sorry, no, the Chesma got scrapped. And another battleship that I had out there sank. It got taken out by the Japanese. So that was fun. Now, these 13-inch guns, I think they have enough pen. I don't really feel like I need to change their barrel length, because it's going to upset the reload even more. I don't want to change the diameter either, because I got enough punch on the guns as is. Rangefinders, maximum I can get. Torpedoes, best. Fast torps. There's just not a whole lot of progress in my navy. The previous admiral, Petrov, he did okay, but because of all the economic challenges that he was facing, he did not have enough ability, enough money to really get the research done that he wanted. So unfortunately, this is the navy that we have right now. So 5 months, it's not great, but we'll just have to make it work. We're going to have to take one of these ships out of rotation every time, refit it, and then wait for that to be done. So it's going to probably be, I don't know, 15 to 20 months before I have all of these ships refit. Which isn't great, but, well, if the war with the Austro-Hungarians wears down a little bit, if it dies down, maybe I can pull both of the Europas on that side out of service. For now, I don't have any of the Europas ready for a refit. They're either deployed, they're repairing, they got things to do. The invasion here, slowly progressing, but the Austro-Hungarians are also on the move here. I don't have a lot of defense. I want to complete this invasion, and I hope that this invasion doesn't move too quickly. If it does, we're going to be in trouble. After a couple of months of building submarines, I'm now proud to say I have a submarine fleet. I have 30 submarines. The problem is, they're all coastals. So these submarines are going to be, well, potentially not that effective, in the sense that they can't go anywhere. Also, I have noticed that I can move the submarines in groups of 2. Because naval comms just don't allow me to do more than that. So yeah, we're going to be moving out a couple of these submarines. And pestering the Japanese a bit more. Unfortunately, it seems like I can't even... Oh, there we go. I can still select the port. These submarines are not very heavily armed. They only have 2 torpedo tubes, a machine gun, and that's it. They're crewed by 12 people. They weigh, what, like 133 tons. Tiny boats. When it comes to researching how to kill them, I have made tiny bits of progress with modified sweepers, which gives me a slightly higher anti-submarine warfare rating, but that's it. So yeah, that's fun. When it comes to other research, it's just completely come to a crawl. My finances are slightly better, in the sense that I sold another battleship that I was building. And this means that I have a nice, decent chunk of money. I am still working on some other ships. So, I mean, it's still going to take a bunch more time. And I want to still complete the invasion ships. So we're going to continue building Petrov. We're going to be continuing building the Riga. And there goes my money. Minus 24 million. It just flies out the door. I am going to be investing a bit more into naval funding. But this admiral is much more about protecting the transport fleet and crew training. So those sliders get more attention. And once again, and we broke in about 14 months. The Japanese seem to have lost quite a few of their transports. I keep getting pop-ups saying, hey, they lost transports, they lost transports. Is it effective? Nope. Their economy just grows like nothing matters at all. On top of that, they got 5 battleships. I have 1 in that area. No, 2, actually, 2. The problem is, my battleship, one of them, the Yakov, is currently going through a refit. Where are you? Yeah, there it is. It's undergoing a refit, and this means the ship is currently unable to get deployed. So that is one ship that I simply don't have access to. The other one, the Apraskin, she's out here in the Northeast Asian theater to defend against attacks on my merchant navy and to harass the Japanese merchants. I'm hoping that I can also do that in the Sea of Japan with the subs. When it comes to the Black Sea, the situation is pretty stable. We have a lot more power projection than they do, but they have a submarine. And I don't do much against submarines because I haven't researched hydrophones. I haven't researched anything of the like. What I can do is push a couple of submarines out into the... Oh, I don't know. We're going to go all the way to the Ionian Sea. Just to potentially cause issues for them. I'm not sure how well these things will do. If one of them dies, you know, so be it. They cost me 65,000 a month to build. They're really, really cheap. They cost 6,000 in maintenance, but 18k in maintenance if you are sending them out. Now, 18k in maintenance is something that is like a rounding error, considering that one heavy cruiser that is at port costs you 3 million. A battleship out there costs you 11 million a month. So submarines are dirt cheap and could be the way forward to victory. Now, I'm not the only one using submarines, so very quickly, the 10 and 11 are engaging another submarine. This one carries only a bow torpedo launcher and 12 mines. It's going to be a lot of auto-resolving, and I did light damage, giving me half. Half a victory point. Isn't that spectacular? Over here, oh, look at that. That thing has 2 bow torpedo launchers. And I sunk it, giving me 28 victory points. Hey, nice. How many more of these do they have left? 3. Oh, that's not too bad. Look at that. My submarine fleet just dwarfs everybody else. 5, 2, 3, 14 torpedo boats. No submarines at all for Italy. 2, 3, 3, 3, 32. I feel like submarines, oh, you know, they might be a little busted. And it does mean that I might be going heavy on the submarines. Because it's just a weird, wonderful way to improve my current situation at a discount. I mean, it's really cheap. Now, I'm considering going to peace with Japan. I don't think I'll be able to go to a whole lot more fights with Japan. They got 6 battleships. Like, I have 4. My navy is arguably about 5 times their size at this point. 4 times, but I doubt my capabilities a bit. So I'm going to suggest that we go to a peace treaty. And considering I got 116,000 victory points versus 51k, I should be able to get a decent amount of money and potentially some territory from Japan. Now, South Korea, that got retaken by the Japanese. You remember that invasion force that I did over there in North Korea? That the Japanese just shrugged off, basically, while they were taking South Korea? Yeah, that worked for in their favor. So, negotiations fail there. That's excellent. Yeah, this is going to cost you 1.5 billion. I got 481 million. It's not bad. Oh, I can claim their battleships? Right. If only you get the pop-up saying this is the battleship with that level of firepower. But it doesn't line up with the Admiral's ambitions. So I am not going to do it. I'm going to get 481 million. Thank you. Which means I should stop losing transports in the Sea of Japan. That is going to be over. I'm apparently now an ally of Mexico, which is going to improve my economy. I doubt it, but we'll see how it goes. I am very much interested in rebuilding the merchant fleet as quickly as I can, because my naval budget is just a very sorry sight. As for the submarines, well, I can guess I can just pull those back in. I can pull those back into Vladivostok. They've done what they came here to do, which is put a bit more pressure on the Japanese. And I can potentially save a bunch of money by getting some ships back into port. So let's see. The situation is such that I need to save money. Everybody's out in the Arctic Ocean. But they're in Murmansk. Is anybody at sea? Yeah, in the Black Sea. Northeast Asia, in the Sea of Japan. That's the Abraskin that's coming home. The Yakov is getting refit in a month. That's perfect. And the rest of it should be fine. Now, we do have an ambush over here with 2 battleships. One is the Apostol Pyotr, and the other one is the Admiral Senyavin. This is not a great fighter, because this is a Petrov-class battleship that the Greeks have taken / bought from me. We're going to take these ships and take down an attack raid of torpedo boats from the Italians. I don't think that the Petrov is at that much risk. She's big, though, but she's not very quick. So her turning circle should be good. And the other one, the Apostol Pyotr, has a bunch of 8-inch guns and is not afraid to use them. So as long as these torpedo boats come at me single file, I should be able to make something work and deal with these in a very adequate manner. Their torpedo range, however, is probably getting better with the day. Yeah, 3 clicks out. That is possibly a little spooky. Ooh, that's good damage there. We're going to be inside of their torpedo range fairly swiftly. The first time, ironically, that we're seeing a Petrov out here, which isn't even mine. But a couple of other navies went, huh, that's a funky looking ship, I want one. Even though it's armed with 4 11-inch guns and 4 5-inch guns. And that is the entirety of their firepower. Like, that is all. Don't expect these things to be doing a whole lot of damage. Because they were supposed to come in late. They were supposed to come in after everything else had been cleared out. I don't like the fact that there's torpedoes coming, thank you very much. So these things were really not supposed to see conflict, yet here they are. It doesn't seem like they're going to take too much damage, though. These guys are. 4-inch guns doing damage. This thing hasn't hit anything. Like what? 10,000 damage and you're not dead? There you go. Alright, so that just leaves us with the Vega. Vega also putting torpedoes in the water. Apostol Pyotr not taking kindly to that. There goes the Aldebaran. Yeah, this was a a fairly quick and extremely decisive match against the Italians where they scored 2 hits but absolutely no damage. That is the type of fight I want. That is the type... Oh, sorry, these were Austro-Hungarian boats, weren't they? Either way, more victory points for me. The war against the Italians is something I am considering deploying a Petrov 2 or potentially several, so that I might be able to take some territory of the Italians, but I'm not sure if there's any real areas that I can take that are also going to be valuable fight to the end. It'd be great to take something like Eastern Sicily, but it's heavily defended. Western Sicily, not as much, but I wouldn't be surprised if they suddenly spawn in a whole bunch of people. Tripolitania has a very tiny army, though, so I might be able to take this. That means we're going to have the new built battleship. Well, dare I say troop transport, the Petrov. You are going to be parked in Poti. Is that right? Yeah, Poti is fine. Okay, so that's where you're going to spawn. There, in Georgia. The Riga, 3 months later, also spawns there. The other one's still suspended for 15 months. It's going to take a long time. We've basically barely started building this thing. It's just lying there waiting for future investments. What is this convoy? 1 transport and 1 DD. Okay, we're going to do a little DD skirmishing And then get rid of that DD and save my, well, my one boat. My one transport ship that is out there. It needs saving. It needs to be kept in pristine condition because I simply don't have that many left. Alright, dude. Where's the enemy? Go find the enemy and introduce you, or introduce them, to the 5-inch gun up close. Here we go. Torpedoes away from the Zeletsnyakov. And incoming torpedoes as well. This is going to be funky. Oh, that torpedo just changed direction. That saved me. Perfect. Come round. Increase speed again. We're both no longer torpedo dangers, but it's going to be a gunfight now. It's going to be a question of who reloads first. The transport's fairly safe at about 6 clicks out. Is that thing packing? No, it's not. Okay. Hello. This is where the very small 1.5 inchers could be very useful. These things are, well, basically only on the ship to do damage against this particular type of target. A destroyer at extremely short range. Does this thing have any armor? Barely. So, with my high explosive damage, I should be able to kill this thing. It already lost a conning tower? Wow. That sucks for you. Come on, dude. Get him. Come round. Accuracy's all over the place. And I know that this ship is very poorly built. Roll and pitch are awful. But at the time, that's what I had. At the time, this was just the level of ship that I could make. And I'm sorry to say, but things haven't improved much. The situation is still fairly poor. This thing is about to launch another torpedo at me. Potentially more than one. Yeah, definitely more than one. There it is. That's... oh, that's both your torps. So now I can kind of charge you and only have to fear your guns. Can you pen this? Of course you can. It's a DD. I'm not trying to fool. Accuracy with a ship that's this badly listing, tilting, scrambling, and moving at 22 knots against something inside of a smokescreen is awful. Come on. 600 meters out, we're still not getting a hit. Now we're getting something. Boom, boom. Boom, 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 more boom. Oh, ow. Flash fire, dead. Beautiful. That took me 3% structural, so that was a very swift win. Nice. Gonna be a few more victory points. Not a whole lot, it's just a DD. But more importantly, I did not lose yet another transport. And considering that transports are what? They represent a ton of other transports, I think. So a ton of money. I am very happy that I was able to save even just this one. Now, that is going to be the conclusion of this episode, that little DD skirmish. I'm going to continue building more submarines. I'm going to be continuing researching more submarines and hopefully, eventually, getting a better surface navy. But for now, submarines appears to be the way to go. And once we have leveled our economy and potentially taken some more territory here, maybe I can start working eventually on some bigger warships. But right now, submarines are the way to go. Hope you guys are along for the ride. I'll see you soon for the next episode.